What if peak strength, energy, and drive were silently slipping away, without warning, without symptoms, and without being noticed? Testosterone, a critical hormone responsible for muscle mass, bone density, mood regulation, and reproductive health, begins a gradual decline after the age of 25. This natural process often goes unnoticed, yet its impact can be profound, affecting energy levels, mental clarity, metabolism, and overall vitality. Modern lifestyle factors such as chronic stress, poor sleep, environmental toxins, and nutritional deficiencies are accelerating this decline far beyond normal aging patterns. Understanding the hidden causes behind dropping testosterone is essential for prevention and long-term health optimization. This discussion reveals the overlooked truths and scientific insights necessary to protect hormonal balance and sustain peak physical and mental performance. Testosterone levels naturally begin to decline after the mid-20s as part of the body's biological aging process. This gradual reduction, often referred to as age-related hormonal decline, typically occurs at an average rate of about 1% per year. While this decrease may seem minimal, its cumulative effect over time can significantly influence multiple physiological systems. Testosterone plays a vital role in maintaining muscle protein synthesis, red blood cell production, fat distribution, and bone mineral density. As levels drop, subtle changes may begin to appear, including reduced muscle mass, increased body fat, and decreased physical endurance. Neurologically, testosterone also contributes to mood stability, cognitive sharpness, and motivation, meaning declining levels can be associated with fatigue, irritability, and reduced focus. Additionally, lower testosterone can impact metabolic efficiency, potentially increasing the risk of insulin resistance and related conditions. This decline is not solely dependent on chronological age but can vary based on genetics, baseline hormone levels, and overall health status. Early signs are often overlooked because they develop gradually and are commonly attributed to lifestyle or stress, making awareness of this natural hormonal shift essential for recognizing its broader impact on long-term health and physical performance. Chronic stress plays a significant role in suppressing testosterone levels through the prolonged elevation of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. When the body is exposed to ongoing psychological or physical stress, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis becomes overactivated, leading to sustained cortisol release. Testosterone and cortisol share an inverse relationship, meaning that as cortisol levels rise, testosterone production is often inhibited. This occurs because the body prioritizes survival mechanisms over reproductive and anabolic functions during periods of stress. Elevated cortisol can interfere with signals from the brain to the testes, reducing the stimulation required for testosterone synthesis. Additionally, chronic stress contributes to increased inflammation and oxidative stress, which can further impair endocrine function. High cortisol levels are also associated with disrupted sleep patterns, increased abdominal fat accumulation, and reduced insulin sensitivity, all of which indirectly contribute to lower testosterone levels. Over time, this hormonal imbalance can affect energy levels, muscle maintenance, libido, and cognitive performance. Stress-related behaviors such as poor dietary choices, reduced physical activity, and substance use may further worsen the condition. Psychological stress, including anxiety and prolonged mental pressure, can continuously activate this hormonal pathway, making it difficult for the body to restore equilibrium. The long-term presence of elevated cortisol creates an internal environment that suppresses anabolic hormones and shifts the body toward a catabolic state. Sleep deprivation has a direct and measurable impact on testosterone production due to its close connection with the body's circadian rhythm and hormonal regulation systems. Testosterone is primarily synthesized during deep sleep, particularly during rapid eye movement cycles, making consistent and high-quality sleep essential for maintaining optimal levels. When sleep duration is reduced or sleep quality is disrupted, the body's natural hormone production cycle becomes impaired. Even a few nights of insufficient sleep can lead to a noticeable drop in testosterone levels, while chronic sleep deprivation can cause a sustained hormonal imbalance. The hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which regulates testosterone production, becomes less efficient when the body is not adequately rested, leading to decreased signaling for hormone release. Lack of sleep also increases cortisol levels, further contributing to the suppression of testosterone. This creates a compounding effect where elevated stress hormones and reduced recovery time work together to disrupt endocrine function. Sleep deprivation is also associated with reduced growth hormone secretion, which plays a supportive role in tissue repair, muscle growth, and overall metabolic health. As a result, individuals experiencing poor sleep may notice decreased muscle recovery, reduced strength, and increased fatigue. Cognitive functions such as focus, memory, and decision-making can also decline due to the combined effects of low testosterone and inadequate rest. In addition, disrupted sleep patterns can alter appetite-regulating hormones such as leptin and ghrelin, leading to increased hunger and cravings for high-calorie foods. This can contribute to weight gain, particularly increased visceral fat, which is linked to lower testosterone levels due to enhanced conversion of testosterone into estrogen. Shift work, excessive screen exposure before bedtime, irregular sleep schedules, and underlying sleep disorders such as insomnia or sleep apnea can all interfere with the body's ability to maintain a stable hormonal rhythm. Over time, persistent sleep deprivation creates a physiological environment where hormonal balance is compromised, recovery is limited, and overall metabolic efficiency declines. Poor diet and nutrient deficiencies play a critical role in the decline of testosterone levels by disrupting the body's ability to produce and regulate hormones effectively. Testosterone synthesis depends on a steady supply of essential nutrients, including healthy fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Diets low in quality nutrients or high in processed foods can impair this process at multiple levels. Cholesterol, often misunderstood, serves as a foundational building block for testosterone production, and extremely low-fat diets can limit its availability. Insufficient intake of healthy fats such as omega-3 fatty acids may reduce the body's capacity to support hormone synthesis and maintain cellular health. Micronutrients such as zinc, vitamin D, and magnesium are particularly important for testosterone regulation. Zinc plays a role in the enzymatic reactions required for testosterone production, while vitamin D functions as a hormone-like compound influencing endocrine activity. Magnesium supports free testosterone levels by reducing its binding to carrier proteins. Deficiencies in these nutrients are commonly linked to lower testosterone levels, especially in individuals with imbalanced or restrictive diets. Diets lacking in whole foods such as lean proteins, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can lead to suboptimal nutrient intake, further compromising hormonal balance. High consumption of refined sugars and simple carbohydrates can also negatively affect testosterone by promoting insulin resistance and increasing fat accumulation. Elevated insulin levels interfere with hormone signaling and may contribute to reduced testosterone synthesis. Additionally, excess sugar intake is associated with increased inflammation, which can impair endocrine function over time. Trans fats and highly processed vegetable oils may disrupt cellular integrity and hormone receptor sensitivity, further complicating hormonal regulation. Protein intake is equally essential, as inadequate protein consumption can limit the body's ability to maintain muscle mass and support metabolic processes linked to testosterone. Conversely, extremely high protein diets without adequate fat intake may also create imbalances that affect hormone production. Alcohol consumption, especially in excessive amounts, can impair liver function and disrupt the metabolism of hormones, leading to reduced testosterone levels. Eating patterns such as irregular meal timing or chronic caloric restriction can also influence hormone levels by signaling the body to conserve energy rather than support anabolic processes. This can reduce testosterone production as the body shifts into a protective energy-saving mode. Long-term nutritional imbalances create an internal environment where the endocrine system lacks the resources needed to maintain optimal hormone production and regulation. Environmental toxins and endocrine-disrupting chemicals have become a significant and often overlooked factor contributing to declining testosterone levels in modern populations. These substances are found in everyday products, including plastics, personal care items, pesticides, household cleaners, and even food packaging materials. Many of these chemicals, such as bisphenol A, BPA, phthalates, and certain parabens, are classified as endocrine disruptors because they interfere with the body's natural hormonal signaling systems. They can mimic, block, or alter hormone activity, leading to imbalances in testosterone production and regulation. When these toxins enter the body, either through ingestion, inhalation, or skin absorption, they can accumulate in tissues over time and disrupt the delicate balance of the endocrine system. BPA, commonly found in plastic containers and can linings, is known to bind to hormone receptors and interfere with androgen activity. This can reduce the effectiveness of testosterone even when levels appear normal in blood tests. Phthalates, often used to make plastics flexible and present in fragrances and cosmetics, have been associated with reduced testosterone synthesis by affecting the function of Leydig cells in the testes, which are responsible for hormone production. Pesticide exposure, especially in non-organic foods, can introduce additional chemical stressors that affect hormonal health. Certain pesticides act as estrogen mimickers, increasing estrogenic activity in the body while suppressing androgenic function. This imbalance between estrogen and testosterone can lead to symptoms such as reduced muscle mass, increased fat accumulation, and decreased libido. Over time, continuous exposure to these chemicals can contribute to chronic endocrine disruption, where the body struggles to maintain normal hormonal equilibrium. Heavy metals such as lead, cadmium, and mercury, often present in contaminated water, industrial pollution, and certain foods, can also negatively affect testosterone levels. These metals can impair testicular function, reduce antioxidant capacity, and increase oxidative stress, all of which interfere with hormone production. Air pollution, including particulate matter and industrial emissions, has been linked to systemic inflammation and endocrine dysfunction, further compounding the problem. Personal care products such as shampoos, deodorants, and lotions frequently contain synthetic chemicals that may act as hormone disruptors when used daily over long periods. The cumulative effect of these exposures is often referred to as toxic burden, where the body is continuously exposed to low levels of multiple chemicals that collectively interfere with hormonal regulation. Modern lifestyle patterns increase exposure through constant contact with plastics, processed foods, and synthetic environments, making it difficult to avoid these substances entirely. The endocrine system is highly sensitive, and even small disruptions in hormone signaling can lead to noticeable physiological changes over time. These changes may include altered fat distribution, reduced energy levels, impaired recovery, and diminished reproductive function, all linked to gradual suppression of testosterone activity at the cellular level. Sedentary lifestyle and lack of physical exercise significantly contribute to declining testosterone levels through multiple physiological mechanisms affecting metabolism, circulation, and endocrine signaling. Regular physical activity, particularly resistance and high-intensity training, plays a central role in stimulating testosterone production by activating muscle fibers, improving insulin sensitivity, and enhancing overall hormonal communication between the brain and testes. When the body remains inactive for prolonged periods, these stimulatory pathways become underutilized, leading to reduced hormonal output and diminished anabolic activity. Physical inactivity is also strongly associated with increased body fat accumulation, especially visceral fat, which is metabolically active and capable of converting testosterone into estrogen through the aromatase enzyme, further lowering available testosterone levels in the bloodstream. A sedentary lifestyle often leads to decreased muscle mass, which directly reduces the body's demand for testosterone, as this hormone is closely linked to muscle maintenance and growth. Lower muscle engagement signals the body that less anabolic support is required, contributing to a gradual downregulation of testosterone production. Additionally, inactivity impairs blood circulation, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery to tissues, including endocrine glands, which can negatively affect hormone synthesis and distribution. Poor circulation also limits recovery and increases fatigue, reinforcing inactivity and creating a self-perpetuating cycle of low energy and reduced hormonal function. Prolonged sitting, common in modern work environments, has been linked to metabolic slowdown and increased insulin resistance. Elevated insulin levels interfere with hormonal balance and are associated with reduced testosterone synthesis. Lack of movement also contributes to chronic inflammation, which can disrupt endocrine signaling pathways and impair testicular function over time. Inflammatory markers such as cytokines can inhibit the enzymes responsible for testosterone production, further reducing hormonal efficiency. Exercise is not only important for muscle development but also for regulating stress hormones. Physical activity helps lower cortisol levels, which, when elevated due to inactivity and stress, suppress testosterone production. Without regular exercise, cortisol remains chronically elevated, reinforcing a hormonal environment that is unfavorable for testosterone maintenance. Sedentary behavior is also linked to poor sleep quality, which indirectly affects testosterone synthesis by disrupting nocturnal hormone release cycles. Another significant factor is the impact of inactivity on mitochondrial health. Mitochondria are responsible for cellular energy production, and reduced physical activity leads to decreased mitochondrial efficiency, lowering overall energy availability. This reduction in cellular energy can impair hormone production processes, including those involved in testosterone synthesis. Over time, the lack of stimulation from exercise reduces the body's adaptive responses, leading to decreased hormonal resilience and diminished capacity to respond to physiological stressors. Modern sedentary habits often involve prolonged screen time, irregular movement patterns, and minimal engagement in physical labor, all of which contribute to reduced neuromuscular activation. This lack of stimulation affects the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, weakening the signaling required for optimal testosterone production. As physical inactivity continues, the body gradually shifts into a conservation state, prioritizing minimal energy expenditure over anabolic processes, resulting in reduced hormone output, decreased vitality, and progressive metabolic slowdown that continues without interruption, leading into further decline in endocrine function and systemic performance that remains unaddressed and continues evolving into deeper physiological imbalance and reduced adaptive capacity across multiple biological systems.